and James Nellems. Middleweights were scheduled for 6 rounds. Jimmy Lennon is set to introduce the fighters to you. Let's go to the center of the ring.
All right, fans, here we go. Next bout coming your way. Scheduled 6 rounds of boxing as we present middleweights in action. Introducing to you first on my left, he is fighting on my left out of the blue corner, wearing purple trunks with white trim. He's fighting out of the great city of Los Angeles, California, and his weight tonight, 161 3/4 pounds. With a record of 5 wins and 2 defeats, please welcome a boxer known as Vinson Big City Durham. And his opponent across the ring on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trunks with black trim. He hails from Sacramento, California, and his weight tonight is a ready 158 pounds. Tonight he is making his professional debut. Please welcome Santiago Nellems. The referee in charge now to give instructions. This is Lou Moret. 6 rounds of scheduled boxing.
Again, your instructions in the dressing room. Do you have any questions? Shake hands and wait the bell. Good luck.
That's James Santiago Nellems. He's out of Sacramento making his pro debut. Tail of the tape as he goes up against Vinson Durham. Nellems is taller, but those are not the correct figures, I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen. These are middleweights that are fighting. And I'll tell you that Nellems is 5'10", 158 pounds, and Durham is 5'11 and a half and 161 3/4. Nellems making his pro debut. Aside from that, we know very little about Santiago. He's in the red trunks trimmed in black. Durham, on the other hand, from Joliet, Illinois, now living in Los Angeles. And his nickname, or sobriquet, is Big City. I don't know how you feel about this division, but I always thought it was one of boxing's great divisions.
It was at one, well, I think it still is, but
yeah,
I think that now the great divisions are moving down to the lower divisions, like the featherweights, the junior lightweights, the lightweights. And I wish that they were bringing the money that the heavyweights were in, but unfortunately not. But this was a great division.
Yes, the middleweight division. It's these are guys that are big enough to put you away with one punch, and magnificent boxers as well, and very colorful and a very...
You know, one of the greatest middleweights I thought was Carlos Monzon. What a great middleweight.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody ever beat him. I'm sure somebody did, but I can't remember him. Didn't he win something like 74 fights?
Well, I think his only loss was to the Superior Court.
You said you wouldn't mention that tonight.
No, okay.
Ruben, so just forget that.
Sorry about that, Carlos. If you're watching.
No, I think he's in Durham's file. Nellems in the red trunks, Durham in the purple. Nellems making his pro debut. But he's obviously had a very good amateur career, because he certainly is appears to be pretty well schooled out there, Ruben, for a guy who's making his first pro appearance.
Yeah, he does.
Not wild swinger or anything like that.
No, he looks pretty good.
Forcing the action against Durham, who's had 7 professional fights. He's got a record of 5 and 2. These are middleweights. Nellems with Durham backed into Durham's corner. Referee is Lou Moret. Durham landing a series of combinations and scoring with them. Round 1 is coming to a close. The seconds tick away, and we'll be back to see how things go in round number 2 in these 2 middleweights. First, we'll see about... Well, Welcome back to our night of championship boxing at the Great Western Forum. Best laid plans of mice and men, gang after clay. We've got Durham and Nellems straightened out for you now. As you see, they were 5'11 and a half, 5'10", 27 years of age, 158 pounds, 161 3/4. Scheduled for 6, they're middleweights. Nellems is in the red trunks. Santiago Nellems. And Vinson Big City Durham in purple. Nellems making his pro debut. And Durham in what would be his 8th professional fight. He's got a record of 5-2 coming into the contest tonight. Durham had an amateur record of 20 wins and 2 losses. It's kind of a headlock on Nellems. Lou Moret says, no, boxing, gentlemen. Right hand lead by Nellems. Fighter out of Sacramento making his professional debut. Of 7 professional fights, standing Durham in pretty good stead. He had a nice amateur career, but for Nellems making his pro debut, I think he's comporting himself very well out there. Toe to toe, banging away. Durham catching a lot of those blows on his gloves and arms. Nellems trying to land a few to the body.
See that shot? Durham is quite a smart fighter, huh? Shows a lot of experience.
Throwing that overhand right, and he's landed with it 3 times in a row, and he pops another right hand in on Nellems. Oh, and a solid right there by Durham. Nellems comes back with a nice combination of his own. Good left by Durham. Spins Nellems around a little bit.
Oh, something tells me that this Nellems can punch.
Nellems looks like a guy who wants to put him away with one shot if he gets the chance, which might be a problem for a young fighter making his pro debut. Round 2 coming to a close. It's scheduled for 6. There's the bell. Forum Boxing brought to you by Budweiser, and there's a lot more to come. So open a cold Budweiser and get ready with that clean, crisp taste that only comes from Beechwood AJ. Hey, fans, this Bud's for you. An electrifying 3rd round knockout scored by the champion, Humberto Chita Gonzalez, over Luis Kid Manzote of Cuba. In the light flyweight title bout, WBC version. Crowd still buzzing a bit over the punching power of Gonzalez. Boy, what a solid hitter this guy is. In the meantime, excuse me, go ahead, brother.
He goes to a training camp, he says, when he prepares himself and he secludes himself for like 3 months.
Well, he certainly looked to be a very dedicated guy defending his title out there tonight. Round 3, this one is scheduled for 6. These are middleweights. Again, in case you've just joined us, that's Vinson, Big City Durham in the purple and white. He's out of Illinois originally, now living in Los Angeles. James Santiago Nellems in the red trunks, trimmed in black. His pro debut. Durham with a record of 5-2. Middleweights. Durham up and moving and outboxing Nellems. That had "Good Night, Big City" written all over it if it landed. fastest, of course. This is round 3. Earlier tonight, Joe Rewa in a very tough 12-round IBC junior featherweight win over Tommy Valdez, talking to Albert Davila before the fight tonight. He was working in Joe's corner, yeah. And he says he's got Paul Gonzalez in a title scrap this Sunday.
Oh, Paul's fighting Sunday, that's right.
Solid chopping right hand thrown. Fight is in Texas.
Really? Oh, there's a
cut over the left eye of Nellems.
Pick him up.
On the outer edge of the left eye. Durham backs him into Durham's corner. Nellems spins him around there. Round 3. Coming to a close. We'll be taking a look at the eye between rounds. See what all of that brings. And we'll be back with round 4 right after we pause for this message. We're out to take a look at the eye of Nellems.
Come on. No, it's to the side of the eye. Give a chance to work it. Let it go. It's bad. Let's go. Huh? No, come on.
Nellems wants to fight.
One more round. One more round.
Nellems, the doctor wanted to stop it. The trainer said, give us a chance to work on this eye. Nellems said, no, don't stop this fight. And the doctor and referee Lou Moret said, we'll give it one more round. It's scheduled for 6. Now you must bear in mind that these gentlemen, Moret and the doctor, have nothing but the fighter's best interests in mind. The first requisite of a referee is to take care of the fighters in the ring. He's there to safeguard both men. He's there to make sure that neither one is taken advantage of and that they are not subjected to anything unduly harmful. So they have no vested interest in who wins this fight. They just want to make sure nobody gets hurt.
And of course, the fighter's his first reaction is, I want to continue to fight. And they're not thinking about the condition of the eye or what could happen, or what they're in the jeopardy in it. But referees always got to look for the fighters, and that's a great thing to do.
Round 4, Nellems will be watchful of that eye, as will the officials, and of course Durham now with an added target to work at. He'll be picking away at it too, to be sure. Nellems carrying his hands high. He's the youngster in the red trunks, trimmed in black. Durham in purple. On my card, he's pretty much had the best of it. But I tell you, that eye now will give Nellems something to really turn it loose about, Ruben, and he's trying his level best to do just that.
Well, you know, the doctor told him, you got one more round. We're going to try one more round, so he's going to come out and try to take Durham out.
Luberat steps between the two. Look at that eye if we get a chance. I don't think it's reopened or bleeding. His corner did a pretty good job on it. It's just above the left eye, out toward the corner.
Come on.
It was bleeding pretty good. Durham shows no emotion. He's very, very stoic of face. Nellems in a pro debut as a fighter. Scheduled for 6. Durham, we think, with more ring experience at this level. He's had 7 pro fights and won 5 of them. Banging away at Nellems now, bobbing and weaving and trying to get inside and get free for a shot that might just stem the tide here a little bit. Round 4, it's scheduled for 6.
Well, they did a remarkable job on that cut, hasn't it? Oh, there's a trickle now. It's starting to come down a little bit, Tom.
So far, it has not been anything more than just a bothersome thing. It's not anything that Nellems has been rubbing at or trying to... Pretty good left hand by Durham. Durham's a real brawler, isn't he? He just moves you around, spins you around, bangs away at you.
He just goes right at you, and especially now that he's got that cut open above the left eye of Nellems. So that's a confident boost there, isn't it?
I would think so. I don't think the eye has gotten to be any more of a problem. Just a slight show of red there. Durham scoring, though, almost at ease. Certainly at will. Keeps banging away. Landing punches almost every time he throws one. Dominating the fight, befuddling Nellems. Can't seem to get set and get off here in round 4. Which is drawing to a close. Now they'll be taking another look at the eye. Apparently, there's no problem there now. Lou Moret gave him a pat on the back of the lap as Nellems went to his corner. So they've done a fine job on that eye.
You got it. Relax. Grandma, pull my shorts out here. Relax, okay?
He's a little tired to me.
Look, bang, bang to the body. You bang too much of the damn head, you're missing the fuck out of it. You hear me?
Try to do it on one shot, man. Take your time.
Okay. Open your mouth.
Jay, you gotta relax.
Okay? Nice and relax and fine.
Relax and run them off, all right?
Run them off.
Run them off like you know how.
This motherfucker, man, every time you hit him, you hurt him, but all he's doing is just turning on him. When you break, you gotta hustle up, get right back on him. You hear me?
What did he say, Tom?
He said hustle up on him and get right back on top of him and hurt him. He said the last time when you hit him, you hurt him. And he said Durham looks as though he's a little tired. I don't know if that's a fair assumption or not.
Well, he looked a little tired to me. Nellems did, yes.
Yeah.
Pull my trunks down. Unless he's an exhibitionist, he's tired.
Done a nice job on the eye. I don't think that's going to be a matter of concern. Durham bangs away with that right hand. Slapping left thrown by Durham. Nellems, remember, is making his pro debut. And I have no idea how many amateur fights he had, but he certainly is fighting much better than a fellow who is fresh from a rather mediocre or so-so amateur career. His professional debut has gone very well for him. I don't know that he's winning this fight. I doubt it. But aside from everything else, he's handling himself very well. His punches aren't wild, or he seems to be schooled well. Durham, of course, has got much more experience, and he's a tough guy to fight. Never really get a clean shot at Durham, do you?
No, you really don't. Although Nellems hasn't really fired a lot of shots at him, because he's not that, he doesn't have a lot of mobility. Durham doesn't. But he is a little tough to hit. I think his hands are up well, and he's a good counter puncher.
Yeah, he just banged a right hand in at Nellems.
No, stop.
Leans on Nellems a little bit. A trick Nellems will learn as his professional career goes along. Nellems with a little bob and weave, trying to bring one up from Sacramento. Kind of an amateur move there. Didn't catch Durham by surprise. Nellems having a tough time getting free to find some spot to hit Nellems with, Durham with, I should say. Durham, in the meantime, spinning him around, keeping him on the ropes, pretty well, tying him up. Round 5 coming to a close. Lou Moret looks at the two fighters as he separates them, and we'll be back to take a look at them in round 6 right after this. Back to action, round 6. Middleweights, 6th and final round of this scheduled go. James Santiago Nellems in the red trunks. Vincent Big City
pitching a shutout.
I do too. I think he just has too much experience for Nellems, who banged a left hand in there. Missing with the right. I think Nellems, whose corner has done a very fine job on that left eye incident. He's certainly willing and eager and trying, and who knows? He keeps throwing leather. You have to give him a chance. Keep banging away at Durham. And he's really having, so far, his best round as he's working to the body as the two men stand there toe-to-toe. Durham is tough to get a clean shot at. More experienced as a pro. Older. Kind of push and shove each other into the corner, and now Durham shoves him away. Bangs away to the body. Left and a right, slows Nellems down as Nellems bangs one very low. Brett cautions him about that. Durham with a solid right hand in the middle of the face of Nellems, and he did it to him again.
See Durham just hanging all over him, just not giving him a chance to fight back. He's had to fight more his way than anyway, so.
Opens again over the left eye of Nellems and show of blood out. Durham is unmarked.
What do you think about that Chiquita Gonzalez?
Well, I tell you. This guy hits you like a building fella.
It's tough, huh?
Yeah.
So small, but so devastating.
And Manzotti, you know, had a great reputation coming in. Outstanding boxer. Solid right hand thrown by Durham. Nellems takes another and another in a series. But I'll tell you, if Nellems is anything, he's tough.
He just missed two great shots. Durham did. Flurry of punches.
That's right. Nellems has his mouth open, and he may be on empty.
Yep, it's starting to look more and more like my neighborhood here.
Empty. Again, a nice solid combination. Series of punches by Durham. A few seconds remain here in round 6. Making a pro debut and going 6 rounds is no easy night's work.
That's for sure.
Fight's over. I think Durham won it, but you've got to give Nellems a big round of applause for a fine effort. We'll be back to see how the judges saw this one. First, we'll pause for an important message.
Unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. John Thomas scores the bout 59-56. Burton Gilliam and Rudy Jordan, they both agree, and they both scored the bout 58-56. All three in favor of the winner, Vinson Big City Durham.
So Durham, as we thought, and the judges certainly concurred, and of course theirs is the only voice that really counts, for the unanimous 6-round decision over the young man making his pro debut. And that, of course, was this young man, James Santiago Nellems. We'll be back with more. Got a nice bout coming up. Castillo and Gonzalez. You'll like this one.